Hello everybody and welcome back to another YouTube video. This one is the study one that I said I was going to do in the last video. It's how to study. And well, this is kind of geared for college, and I'm going to be doing other videos, other vlogs or whatever on how to study. You know, 'cause, next semester, in addition to working full time, I am also going to be taking 5 classes, 5 night classes. So yeah, 5 night classes full time. It should be interesting, even if I have time to do a vlog. We shall see. So anyways, I want to definitely do more. I want to do more of these particular types of vlogs that you'll see coming out. Probably not on a regular basis. You know, it's like when like this one was, this particular vlog came about from a particular article or a sketch of an article that I did a little while ago in trying to figure out how I'm going to actually do 5 classes. So it should be interesting. And of course, this can be modified depending upon what course of study you're in. So it shouldn't matter what type of course of study you're in. And also, it doesn't really have to pertain to school. You know, could pertain to anything you want to study. And because education is definitely, it's something that I see is changing. It needs to change, especially the way information comes out on a more regular basis. So anyways, so one of the first things that you got to do, you got to know and how to study is to organize your time. And so you want to keep a planner, you know, that not only has your classes in it, but also assignments, you know, like if you have a project, the due date for a project. And you know, you just use everything for this planner, including stuff that you need in your personal time, you know, doctor's appointments or what have you. So you want to keep a planner, and you want to block out your time, you know, for projects, homework, reading, and whatever is important to you. So like you get an assignment, you get a project that is due. Well, you get a project that you have to do, and there's a variety of different steps that go on to that project. So you break down that into little bits and say, well, I'm going to do this then, I'm going to do this then, I'm going to do this then. And you just block, and when you block out the times in your planner, you mark on your planner where you put it. And you're going to need probably a bigger planner, probably a 8.5 by 10 planner. Yeah, probably 8.5 by 10 planner. I am working on some designs, you know, because you know anyone can either you can go buy a planner at the local Staples, Office Max, or whatever is around you. Go buy a local, you know, go buy a planner, any planner that you know, and it may or may not work for you. Or you can just design your own pages. And you can easily do that if you have Office, Microsoft Office. You can do that with, or if you have OpenOffice. That's the cheaper version. Actually, it's the free version. because a lot of us are on budgets. You can make your own planner pages, you know, and just print them out as needed, or print out like maybe a month or two, or actually, I don't know, it may be even better to just print out like the whole semester worth. And then that's easy. And if anything comes in afterwards, like maybe have like notes that you put in a place, like after, so when you create your next set of planner pages. Okay. So I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do my, how I'm going to design my planner pages, but it's probably going to be 8.5 by 8.5 by 10, or 8.5 by 11, regular, regular letter size paper. So that's what you want to do. You want to keep a planner. You want to block out your time, for everything that you need to do within that semester. And see, I had taken notes because I had written down this whole article. Yeah, okay, I already said that. So anyways, that's probably the most important thing for you to manage your time, is to come up with something that you can manage. Okay. Also, and that brings me to number 2, when you're actually in class, and because each semester, each class, you're going to take notes. You're gonna like increase the papers and things like that you get. So you want to make sure you keep that organized. Now, you want to, what I would suggest you do, just to, because I don't like to have a whole lot of bulk. I just like, my biggest bulk is probably the Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I carry around with me everywhere that I don't really use. But everything else is, very limited. That too is probably going to start to get limited as well. But anyways, going back, have a notebook. And what I suggest in that notebook, have one subject per course in that semester. So you're only taking one notebook. Okay? So if you have 3 courses, most people taking night courses, the most you take is 3 courses, 4 courses. And eventually, you also have people that are actually taking 5 courses, like me. Well, that's just part of the program that I'm in. I have to take these 5 courses. Otherwise, I have to wait an extra year to take, whatever courses I don't take. So, and I don't want to wait. Anyways. So, whether it be 3 courses, 4 courses, 5 courses, have a subject notebook. Like if you have 3 courses, 3 subject notebook, 5 courses, 5 subject notebook, then you're only taking 1. And now, in that too, you also want to have, well, also as you're taking the notes, okay, you're not only taking class notes within the class, but you should be taking your own notes that should be part of the class notes. Because you're kind of creating a journal. Think of your notebook as a journal of your class. Okay? And everything that you do, you record. Teacher says you record your questions, anything is within that. Okay, so think of your notebook as a journal. It should be easy. We got blogs, we got, anyway, so think of each course as a journal. So take your own notes within those notes. And your notes that you take, like if you have reading that's done on a regular basis, write out the question. I mean, if you're coming through and you have a question, write out the question in your notebook. If you come up with a realization that's kind of like different from what you've read and stuff like that, write that down in the notebook. Because when we learn, it's active learning. Um, it- you know, not everybody can teach us everything that we need to know to go into the particular subjects that we need to know. But as we learn, as we get into the process, we come up with questions and our own revelations. So anyways, you want to mark that down in the notebook, the particular subject that's related to that course. And keep it like a journal. And also what you want to do. And if you can do this right from the start, I'm not a really fast typist. But if you can do it right from the start, it's great. It'll just save yourself that much more time. If you're not a fast typist and you actually have to carry that notebook, what you want to do, you want to take the notes from that particular week and type it into your computer and create a running file of these things. And this also helps keep things neat. Also, by looking at this material again, you're reviewing it, and that'll help you out on tests. And also, because it's neat and you can go back to it quickly, it's also going to help you out on tests. And what I like to do, because I have a Kindle right here. What I like to do, I like to save it, save the file as a Microsoft document file, and then I send it to my Kindle. And then I can just read it right off my Kindle. Which, so I don't have to keep carrying my notebook around everywhere. Just carry it to class. I can carry my Kindle everywhere else, so that can be part of my reading. I can study anywhere, as long as it's there. So think about that. Let's see. The next step would be 3. Step 3, keep a budget. Because you're going to be getting money from class, whether it be from a job, from the school, or from some other source that you're going to use for your courses. Okay? And you want to keep track of that money. You want to budget that money really good, because you're going to need certain things throughout the time. You may not even know the things that you need at the end or towards the end of a semester from the beginning of the semester. So it's also that important to budget. And of course, in budgeting, a budget is just basically figuring out what you need, when you'll purchase it, and how much it will cost. So you want to keep track of that. Okay, maybe. Again, you can keep track of that in a separate planner page. School budget. Like one page could be a school budget, another page could be your personal home budget, depending upon how many budgets you actually need. But definitely budget. Keep a budget. Because depending upon the course, you're going to need certain things. And especially if you're in a trade thing. Like me, I'm in a design degree, so one of the things that I gotta keep in my budget is paper, different types of tracing paper, different types of pens, pencils, drafting equipment, and markers, you name it, because you can't just use a Crayola marker to design. I suppose you could, but the colors would be, a little bit, different, if you go and buy a box of Crayola markers. at your local Walmart, you know, the colors will be kind of different, you know, and it would actually do different things. So, anyways, but you gotta, you know, that's just one of the things. In my particular design thing, but in your thing, you're gonna have other things, you know, like computers. Okay, thumb drives, computer programs. Some have student versions that are free. Some have student versions that you actually have to buy. All these different things. Housing, if you're a student housing, you know, your food and stuff like that. Okay, that's also part of the budget. All these things, like you want to make sure you keep that budget. And so that leads to the next thing. um, Herbal tea. That also leads to the next thing. The next step would be step 4, and that's spend time finding out other information about your major or minor. And you gotta like find some time to do research in what you're going into. Now that may happen like on winter break or summer break. Um, but with the internet, we can research anything. You know, we can have contacts. There could be specific, not parties, but you know, meetings or gatherings that we can put in our planner to actually meet other people that are in that particular um, in that particular field that you're going in, you know, because it not only will help you meet new people within that, and also those new people can actually help you too. Those new people can actually help you too in school, and also they can they can you know, you'll be building up your networking and your contact list for when you actually go, you know, get that first job in your chosen field. And of course, the world is continually changing. So if you, no matter what you're going into, whether it be psychology, design, automotive, you know, accounting, law, whatever, economics, whatever you're going into, journalism, whatever, you got to see what's out there, and you got to see what's new out there. You're always going to be looking for the new thing, you know, and see if you can try and incorporate that new thing into what you're doing, into, you know, and that's also, you also want to stay open to the yes, I'm getting over a cold. You also want to stay open to other possibilities that pop up, other ideas other than your chosen field, you know, because you want to see what's new out there. Like, you know, maybe there's like some new things coming up in computers that can help you in design or automotives. Mention those things because they're just, you know, there are overlaps in things, you know, including psychology. You know, I kind of, you know, psychology has always been a hobby for me. So I always look at the psychology behind things. I've taken a few courses in psychology. Most of my psychology information comes from the internet, from books, and from a variety of different sources that are not school related. That's from life related. But you know, still, I need to get that. You know, if I wanted to do something psychology, I still would need that master's. You know, and it's crazy. And that kind of leaves me to number 5. Writing articles, doing YouTube videos about your opinions in your course of studies. I mean, this is what professionals do on a regular basis. They write papers. Okay, YouTube is the new paper. YouTube and other video websites, they're the new paper. Okay. So, keep a blog, have a YouTube channel, maybe have a separate set of videos on something else, or whatever, or just keep a blog on something. But write articles, and as you write articles and you do things like this, okay, that helps you to learn what it is that you're learning, that you're going to learn, because you actually have to explain it or explain your ideas to other people. And through YouTube and through a blog, you get feedback, in the comment section. Click feedback, click everyday feedback. And that's also leads me to another point too. Education is changing. It needs to change because information comes out faster than it takes to write the latest textbook. Which, if you don't have if colleges are using your textbooks and you don't have Kindle books, okay, you're going to be left behind in the dust, because the information in your field is going to continue to change, and you have to go through the old-fashioned, expensive way of coming up with another edition. When a book is just it's words written on a paper on something. Okay, so wouldn't it be that much easier to go into electronically to make an extra edition, because you still want to say it's another edition because it's separate from past editions. Like let's say one edition was written in 2000, and your current edition is 2011. Okay, now you want to make sure that but if that book was electronically written, okay, you could take that information, change it the way you need to change it, put it up into a new edition, a new book with a new year, and instead of printing it up, just stick it up on Amazon, for people to download. And see, also Kindle books, they are cheaper than the regular physical books because you don't have the paper, you don't have the cost, you don't have the ink. One of my textbooks is $30. If I were to have bought that book as a printed textbook, it would have cost me almost, or maybe a little bit more, twice as much. So it would have been over $60, but it only cost me $30, and that's, it helps out. And we got to, we have, and see also stuff in a textbook, like my knowledge of psychology continues to increase, because, there's like different books that people wrote, that I can check out on the Kindle. I can sample the books on the Kindle. But even before it gets there, there could be like a radio show that is a podcast, an audio podcast I can listen to. Or there could be a YouTube video that is a lecture. I mean, you name it. It just, this is the changing of education. it's, and maybe, because I foresee a time when we don't go to regular classes for our education. We will create our own our own course of study under a mentor, under the watch of a mentor, someone who's gone where we want to go, or that can help us map where we want to go. So we would just, we'd be going to a college building that, it won't have the classrooms that we have now. They'll have like maybe a little bit smaller buildings for smaller gatherings where instructors can just like, talk with people more on a one-to-one basis about where they want to go. Anyways, that's just that's just where I think education is going. People are, because it's so much easier now to educate yourself than it was, just 15 years ago. It's so much easier now. So anyways, that is my article on, or my video. I probably will post this on my blog at some point, robertchi.blogspot.com. I have other stuff there. And of course, there's other videos I do on a variety of different other topics that you can also watch. And if you like this video, press the like button, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. If I see it on Twitter, or if you tell me it's on Twitter, I'll go ahead and retweet your tweet. But anyways, share it, let it, share it, let it get around, and because things are changing faster than any of us can keep up with, and our education system has to change, and we have to change with it. And I hope also that this video will help you study, study not just in your courses, but in anything that you want to study in your career. If you choose to, learn something yourself. And that's also something else too that I'll probably bring up in another video. But if we could teach ourselves a variety of different things with our mentor, why not just have tests, once a year on what we know, and these tests will be what we need, not the learning, but the test. The learning we're always going to be doing throughout the year, or throughout the 2 years or whatever. The main thing will be these tests, and and maybe we could pay for these tests, to actually get our bachelor's or master's, or even though I think those things are going to be changing as well. They need to change. So anyways, thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment, share this video, like this video. Thank you for watching, and stay creative in the magic of life. Thank you.